Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I did a spinner entry in my Bible. First I stamped an image of a bunny twice, and then I stamped it onto another stamp, which then I could use as a stamp to make a mirror image. And you see my little helper over there, that's our daughter. Afterwards I went over the stamping with a pen because the mirror image stamping didn't work out every time that well, but that's no problem. And then I colored them with my 6 clean color real brush markers, as you see me do here. With the 6 clean color real brush markers, it's important that you use the darker color first, and then you can pull out your darker color with the lighter one and get shadows like that. Then I cut everything out, and I fussy cut them out because I don't have the matching dies, and then I put them through my siren sticker maker. And with the siren sticker maker, if you don't want to get that sticky residue around it, it's a good thing if you use an embossing pen around the edges so the sticky residue will stick to the backing paper. Now you see me cut holes with a big shot machine to a paper that I cut to the right size so it would fit into the margins of my Bible. And this will be the base for my spinner. You see it there on the right. And then I need some frames for the other side because I don't want to have 2 big papers. So I cut 3 of those frames that I have for every animal. I have a hole and a frame, and because the dies sometimes leave impressions on the paper, I put them through again with some heavy cardstock to straighten them out. And now you can see me make some pencil marks where I want to cut the holes. And the important thing is that you cut your holes bigger than the pencil marks that you drew, but not too big so that your frames will still cover them up. And I just used an X-Acto knife to cut the hole because you can't really put your Bible through a die cutting machine. And then I'm gonna assemble the spinner mechanism here. You need essentially some thread. You can use any thread you have. I just used some sewing thread I had, and you see that I had the bird. I used a black pen around it so that you wouldn't see if the birds weren't exactly matching. It would just look like another black line. And then you have to sandwich the thread in between the 2 layers. And afterwards I secured them with just some regular adhesive like that, so they could spin, and covered it with the piece of paper I had already prepared. And that's just important that you cover all the holes, that there is no more white paper showing behind that. And I noticed that the thread was coming loose, especially in the lower parts there where I just had little space for the thread to hold. So I used some liquid glue to glue that in place, that it wouldn't come off. And I used the frames to cover the front up. And now I'm doing some stamping, and while you see me do that, I will read to you the verse we're in, and that is we're in Revelation 5 verse 13. The setting is that the Lamb is opening the scroll there. And then I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the sea and on the sea, and all that is in them, saying, To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever. And that's just what I wanted to convey in this entry, that all the animals sing for joy and dance for joy, and that was just that they cannot be still in front of the Lamb who is Jesus. And yes, I did not have a point that was working from that alphabet, so I took the embossing pen again, and while I was at it, I used it to make some dots with the other colors of ink that I had already used for the stamping, and I just stamped the praise and honor and glory and power. And while I was doing that, I just sung in my mind, all creation, all God's children sing Gloria. And because I love that song, and it's just so close to what I wrote. And then I stamped out the date that I did this entry. It was in February this year, quite some time ago actually, but I still like it. And if you have some glue residue around the animals and your pages are starting to stick to it, or even before that, you can just go ahead and use some baby powder or your embossing bag or embossing body to get rid of this stickiness. And then it's time for a tab, and I just wrote all creation, because all creation sing praise and honor and glory and power. And I used the inside of one of the frames that I cut with the die cutting machines, because I like the paper so much and I thought it was a terrible waste to get rid of it, and it just worked very well, I thought, with the theme. Yes, and now I'm trying to show you how it will spin if you open it. And that was it for today. I'm gonna show you some close-up pictures now of the finished page, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!